Parapsychology is considered a pseudoscience because it is the study of consciousness and claims that consciousness can interact with its environment independently of physical body. Consciousness is a sense of one's personal or collective identity, including the attitudes, beliefs, and sensitivities held by or considered characteristic of an individual. Pseudoscience is a theory, methodology, or practice that is considered to be without scientific foundation. However, serious parapsychologists adhere to the scientific process. Scientific methodology is the principles and procedures for the systematic pursuit of knowledge involving the recognition and formulation of a problem, the collection of data through observation and experiment, and the formulation and testing of hypotheses. The first step is to create a hypothesis or an educated guess. For instance, you may want to see if a modified radio can receive messages from the dead. The second step is to gather the material you will need for the experiment. The third step is actually designing the experiment. Continuing with the modified radio example, you could make a list of 3 places that are purportedly haunted and create 10 questions you will ask at each location to try to elicit after-death communication through the radio. Type the questions and leave a space so you can write down the assumed answers and then print 6 copies. 3 are for the allegedly haunted locations. Be sure to leave a space at the top to write which location you will be visiting. You also want to design a control for the experiment. A control is a sample in which a factor whose effect is being estimated is absent or is held constant in order to provide a comparison. The reason for this is to preclude accusations of experimenter bias. This is any effect that expectations of the researcher might have on the measurement and recording of the dependent variable. To control for this, you could take 3 question sheets to 3 locations that do not have the reputation for being haunted. The next step is to have your data independently analyzed by someone not involved in the experimentation process. This is done to avoid accusations of confirmation bias, which is a tendency to search for or interpret information in a way that confirms one's perceptions, leading to statistical errors. Type the questions and proposed answers on 6 separate sheets, coding them as location 1, location 2, etc. This is done so that the analysis will not be biased in any way. Instruct the analyst to determine on a scale of 1 to 5 the relevance of the answer to the question. The final step is to draw a conclusion. When you receive the results, see if there is a statistical difference between the experiment sites and the control sites. If the radio is indeed a useful tool in after-death communication, the score will be higher on at least 2 of the locations that folklore maintains are haunted.